Developing now, the principal architect and ringleader of perhaps the largest fraud in Jacksonville history. Those aren't my words. That's how a lawsuit filed by JEA describes ousted CEO Aaron Zahn. The lawsuit seeks damages and injunctive relief from the utility's former leader. The lawsuit states that Zahn willfully and recklessly positioned the utility for sale despite being ordered not to do so and lied about its financial condition. The JEA board fired Zahn with cause in January following an investigation by the city's Office of General Counsel. Zahn is challenging their effort to strip him of severance pay, saying he is being used as a scapegoat.